Hey, my name is Ocean Maloney. I'm probably the tallest dude in the town, one of them. I have a twin brother. We're, just a fun fact to start things off. We're fraternal twins, which means we don't look alike. We set the Guinness Book World Record for the biggest gap in height in fraternal twins. He's about 5'8", and I'm 6'7". It comes out to 29 centimeters as the record holds in the Guinness Book World Records 75th anniversary. Sean Thomas Maloney. I go by Ocean though, as my name is supposed to be pronounced Shun, but it's hard to tell people to say Shun. So I say Ocean. A little bit about me. I came out here from Sacramento. Me and my wife came out here because she got a job out here. I left all my work out there, everything, and came out here with her, and decided to start new out here. We wanted to start, in the middle of nowhere and just put roots down. So we'll be here for a while. I'm sorry, I had to fix my bed up. And so me and my wife been together for married on 12, 13, 14. Been together for 15 years. We had a daughter die from SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, at 3 months and 2 days. Hard loss. And we have found out recently, through studies and confirmed studies, and 4 confirmed studies, that she died 48 hours after being given a vaccine. This video isn't about that though. But if you want any information or know anybody that has someone die from SIDS, forward this video to them. Tell them to get in touch with me, and I'll guide them through a process that will greatly benefit them and help them get through the process. There's, the law and litigation put the statute of limitations. This is my information, because I don't know if I stand to benefit from it anymore, but vaccines are taxed. When kids are given vaccines when they're kids, they're taxed, and 75 cents from every vaccine goes into a trust fund. That trust fund is up in like 4.7 billion or more, and it's to pay out. Vaccines don't affect everybody. They're supposed to be for the common good of everybody, to make us a cleaner environment, but some people will suffer from them, and those people are supposed to be compensated for their suffering, to help them get through it. Now, if you have an infant that dies of SIDS, or undetermined demise of infant while sleeping, or anything of these, the reason why this goes down, and why it took us so long to realize this, is on an autopsy, it'll say undetermined demise. There's no ICD or IDC codes. There's about 130 of them. An IDC code is what they put in the bark that can classify what an infant dies from. Or maybe, I don't know if it's just infant or anybody, but there's about 130 things, and about 6 of those codes are related, or like sudden infant demise of infant while sleeping, while co-sleeping, while sudden infant demise of infant. They're just worded very, very differently. Now, the very tricky part about this is how this escapes so many victims. So many people get led astray and just think it's SIDS that killed their kid, or is when it says that on the autopsy. Now, this took me 15 years for studies to go out and for it to be confirmed, and I want to make sure that it gets out, so nobody else has to feel the pain that me and my wife went through. Gabriella Doreen Marie Maloney. was born October 21st, 2008, and passed on 1/23/2009. It was 3 months and 2 days. On her 3-month our 3-month visit, she got her vaccines, which is mostly it's the DTaP vaccine that has like whooping cough. It's a mixture vaccine, which is that at that time, that is where most of infants, if they're on schedule, that's when they're most overloaded with vaccines. And some babies can handle it. Most babies can pretty much get through it, but and we didn't know this at the time. We had no idea. We just soaked it up. Oh, SIDS, die of SIDS. But they have a SIDS, research institute, which we hold fundraisers for on our birthday every year. And one day God came to me and he gave me the aha moment and just put the dots together in my head, and I started a couple Google searches, and it clicked from there. And I talked to attorneys. Attorneys told us we had a multi-million-dollar case. Sorry, this is hard. It's the first time I've ever done this. A multi-million-dollar case. And on an infant that is injured or injured from vaccines, like, so if they have a symptom that occurred, Down syndrome, anything that they can that was occurred after vaccines, and they if you have your kid's vaccination records, and then you have the date when the kid, and you see that the kid kind of started changing, I would check those vaccination records when that kid started changing or died or suffered any type of big, huge change. Because, like I said, there's a trust fund that is there for you to be compensated. If a kid is injured, or if a child is injured, there's a 3-year statute of limitations on filing for this award. I don't know why I call it an award. I wouldn't call my kid dying and then me filing for an award. Sorry. I would not call that an award. But on a death, it's 2-year statute of limitations. So that seems a little bit flipped. The death is obviously you'd probably get more money from a death than you would from an injury. And like I said, this is not for anybody seeking money. This is for people that have suffered and really seen a change. Really, gotten, I'm going to say it one time, fucked by the system. Tricked by the system, whatever you want to call it. Because let me get back to these IDC codes, because I got off track. So on these 30 IDC codes, put yourself in the position of someone that does an autopsy. They're with the pharmaceutical companies that make the vaccines. The pharmaceutical companies that make the vaccines. Oh God, sorry, this is so tough. The pharmaceutical companies that make the vaccines it is in our legislation or whatever. They cannot be sued or gone after for damages done by things from vaccines. It's not happened. So, and I can't list you the year right now, but you can check the year if you want, whenever it went into play. But there used to be more. There used to be like 136 IDC codes, right? Now there's only 130. Those 6 extra ICD codes were eliminated from the IDC codes. They were eliminated because they implicated, or they said, kid suffered negative adverse reactions from after a vaccine. All the ICD codes, or I'm sorry, IDC codes that were put in that had anything related to naming a vaccine, because the pharmaceutical companies cannot be sued or gone after. They took that off of the IDC codes. And so put yourself in the position of the person doing the autopsy. If you don't have a code of what that child died for, and you did your autopsy, did the test, whatever they do, and they found that, and so they're like, man, we don't have a code for this. Like if they had those 6 extra codes, they could test for those 6 extra codes. If you don't have those 6 extra codes, you can't tell, so you're like, oh, what do we put? So, well, there is around 5-6 codes that are worded very differently. Like I said in the beginning, sudden infant demise of infant while sleeping, sudden infant demise of infant while co-sleeping, sudden infant demise of infant, it just worded very differently. But there's about 6 codes that are flipped up words. Very seldom either those they SIDS straight out, but SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome. They don't know what causes it. If you want my personal opinion, I'll tell you what causes it, and I'll tell you that I've got the answer. I pray to God every day to get the answer to what happened to my child. Oh, sorry. I prayed every day for 15 years. One day I got the answer. Did I want that answer? I got that answer when I had fully accepted, and I was already through. I literally was already through. I had accepted her death. I went through all my stages of grief. And I had accepted it, and it was a part of who I was. I was like, oh, I was an angel. She was born on the most powerful day of the month. This is just a side thing. The 21st of every month is the most powerful day of every month. This is why the summer and winter solstices are on June 21st and December 21st. Side other video, but and she was born under. I'm a numerologist, and I'm into Vedic astrology type, other stars, all that. She was born under the most. She was born under some of the most wonderful, the best constellation of stars that someone can be born under. And she's not here with us anymore. Angel. Maybe she's just passing through. Maybe she just had to pass through here to get to the next level, And so I've suffered so much from this. I've had divine intervention from suicide attempt. I've had man. Oh, I've never come out and said all this shit. I went through addictions, opiate addictions, heroin addictions, you name it. I take methadone every day now just to try, to try to get myself back in the row. But so God put me in the right position at the right time, I guess. So I don't want to make this video about anything other than about what it should be about. But if you know anybody who has a kid that died of SIDS, you tell them, you give them my number. I'll talk to them personally. I'll set them up with an attorney. I'll get their case. I'll get them what they deserve. Because I believe that's a part of what I'm here to do. I'm here to do many things, but this is one part of what I'm here to do. I've had my little brother, October 29th. October 29th of 2022, die of a fentanyl overdose, poisoning, whatever, in a Burger King bathroom. Oh, fuck. He wasn't my blood little brother. He was my wife's little stepbrother. But he grew up and became my little brother. I became more of a father figure to him than his dad did. The last thing his dad ever said to him was, "Go die under a bridge somewhere." You fucking punk. Oh, gosh. I'm just gonna pour it all out. Another part of what I'm here to do. Noah is always with me. This kid, I guided very well. When we moved out here from Sacramento, we moved out here to start fresh and, you know, take care of some family members that were going through some dementia. You know, my wife's mom and his dad got a divorce. And when that divorce happened, the biggest thing that crushed him was that he wouldn't be able to have the same connection. We wouldn't be spending holidays together. We wouldn't even be getting the same gifts on Christmas, you know, because this kid took over every one of my passions. Did graffiti like me, you know, took my graffiti, started rapping like me. It just did everything. He did everything that I did because I did it. You want to dress like me? I'll give him hand-me-down shirts because I'm a very tall person. I buy clothes, they shrink, and what first time I wear them, I'll hand him down stuff that I wear after even years or whatever that I didn't want. And he thought it was, you know, I can really have this. And you're so stoked over it. I love you, Noah. Fuck, I love you, man. He's my biggest fan in this world. I guided him. Yeah. I never judged him. I never let him down path of doing drugs, and I didn't judge him though. I've been there before, but I never set that role model for anybody. And I would answer any question for anybody. I'd tell them, you know, I'd tell them to stay straight. I'd tell them, you know, but if you ever came to me and said, "Hey, man, you know," and you needed advice on, like, hey, like, I would lead you in the right direction. Because, like I said, it's another part of what I'm here to do. I'm here to guide kids in that stage, keep them on, you know, mentor kids that are in that stage, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, high school kids, whatever. If they're getting mixed up the wrong shit, have them contact me. I'll walk them to school. My name is Sean Maloney, Ocean. My number is 623-759-2782. 623-759-2782. You can find me on Instagram as at thisfoolsean_. I have many other Instagrams that I make and keep up with. You know, I have a online art store. I have where I sell name piece graffitis. So I do family members, kids' names. I make their name look individual. Once I do one name, I only do it once. So, you know, if your kid is named John, and I do John, I'll never do John ever again. Your kid is the only kid that ever has the John name. You know, call it a name drip. You know, so you can get at name dripper, and it's at name Dripper with no E on, so it's just a DRIPPR. And so I do kids names, and I do good stuff. So I make names look beautiful and individual, and I custom it to how what kind of feeling I get from that kid, colors, everything. And once I do a name, I don't ever do it again. So if you have a John name drip, you're the only John that's ever gonna do it. Currently, what I kind of do in my spare time as an artist is I go through the alphabet. I start on an A name. I started with a doctor that actually was helping me at one time, helping me through my through therapy, and her name was Anzella. I had never seen that name before, so I said, hey, I'm gonna do a name for you. I put, I did her name, and you can see it on my name dripper. It's the one with the M&M's characters. It says Anzella, and it looks like the M&M's characters are standing there. And I put M&M's on there because she told me that she liked Eminem when she was in high school, whatever, and listened to Eminem songs, blah blah blah, kind of crush on Eminem kind of thing. So I thought it was funny, and I put M&M's on there with paint, like paint rollers, and it looks like they paint rollered her name up, So anyway, man, I know this video is running long. Please don't mind my teeth. I'm in the middle of getting fucking work done. I'm in the middle of getting. I would have wore the diamonds in my teeth, but I would have wore the diamond grill, but I didn't want to give the wrong impression. Again, Gabriella Doreen Marie Maloney. I didn't even know when we named her Gabriella. Me and my wife named our daughter Gabriella. She got that name because we ended up buying, like, the stuff that we got when when she was a baby had G's all over it. Like, whatever I to this day I forgot what it doesn't matter what the G stood for, but we wanted to think of a very the nicest sounding name that started with a G, and we thought Gabriella was beautiful. It doesn't take after my Irish background or her background. Some people would say it's even more Spanish or Mexican, but to each his own. Later on, we didn't know this at the time. We didn't know that it translates to angel. We had no idea at the time. Doreen Marie Maloney. Doreen is my wife's mom's name, which her original on her birth certificate was going to say Gabriella Doreen Maloney. The last minute, I added my mom's middle name, Marie, because I'm into sounds, and I write lyrics, music. I do, I'm a DJ. I do many things. I play guitar, drums, cello, whatever, any instrument, piano, keyboard, turntables. I can go to a music store and pick up any instrument in there and start playing it. My wife hates it because we're in there for hours. Oh man, I had to step off the limb for a second, bring myself back down, or back up, however you want to take it. This video is probably gonna run close to 30 minutes. I hope you guys stayed with me. To this day, my wife has wanted another kid, wanted another child. And because of what we've suffered, what I've suffered, of course, the risk of being put through the same thing twice would be very low. It would be, any risk at all, I would not wish it on anybody. But I could not suffer that again. I couldn't go through it again. I couldn't go through it again. Couldn't do it. Probably wouldn't last through it. And I would go after I would go after that trust, every freaking bit of that trust fund that was there. I would go after the whole thing. Because that's what we deserve. And she died in 2009. They started doing studies, very shortly after that, because obviously some kids died and they started lining up. They did, you can go online and look at the dates. And so if you had a kid, you have their vaccination records, you want to compare them with any, if you had an injury or a death. And how many days the death was after the vaccine. If it's in 1 to 3 days, if it's been 72 hours or less from taking that vaccine, you're like, you're so probable. I mean, you're guaranteed. You better get it before that statute of limitations makes it so you can't get it. Because you better believe that they put that in place and put that litigation in place, that statute of limitations in place, so that people that are grieving could, you're grieving a loss of a child. You are not thinking about what you know what I mean. You're waiting. It takes sometimes 6 months. It takes months to get that autopsy at first. And once you get that autopsy, you are crushed. You're waiting for what happened. You're like, what happened to my kid? Like, my kid just died. I was saying, what fuck? Well, I'm sorry. I'll say it one more time. What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? I wondered that. My wife wondered that. My wife says, my husband always asks me, did you roll over on her? I never once wondered that. I just wondered what happened. What the fuck happened? I fell asleep in the living room. My daughter was sleeping with my wife. My daughter, I went in at the, very early in the morning, because my wife would get up very early in the morning to breastfeed. Like, I'm talking like between like 3 and 4 a.m. She would instantly wake up and start breastfeeding. So I ended up just like kind of waking up at that time. I fell asleep playing Xbox in the living room in my in my in-laws' house that just bought a big house, like a 6-bedroom house, so we could have this all family, living together. This hurts so bad. And seeing the change, and so when you bring a kid into this world, you are treated. I love my mother-in-law. I love her so much. I love my mother-in-law. I love my mom. I love everybody. I love everybody so much. And I only want the best for everybody. I will only see the brightest side of everybody. I do not focus on anybody's bad things or even bring them up. To each his own. But I will help you. Limelight whatever it is that you do. Because I've done it for myself, but when it comes to doing it for other people, I can do it very well for other people, because I do it for myself, but I do it very well for other people. Anyway, I'm just putting everything out there. We're at 29 minutes and 24 seconds. I don't want to go over 30 minutes. So, my name is Ocean Maloney, Sean Patrick Maloney. This was about SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. If your kid died or had an injury suffered after close to a vaccine, or you notice a change, check your vaccination records. 623-759-2782. 623-759-2782. 623-759-2782. You tell them to call me. And we will talk about it. I'm out.